Do you know NASA is planning another rocket launch next month? NASA's Artemis II mission. NASA is preparing the Artemis II mission, the first crewed lunar mission in over 50 years. It will send 4 astronauts on a 10-day trip around the moon before returning to Earth. The rocket, SLS, and Orion spacecraft are now at the launch pad, and final rehearsals are underway. NASA has confirmed the launch window is in early February 2026, roughly starting around February 6th. The date could shift slightly due to weather or final checks. What Artemis II is? Artemis II is a crewed lunar flyby mission that means the spacecraft won't land on the moon, but will travel around it and return to Earth. It's a crucial test of NASA's new deep space capabilities, paving the way for future moon landings and even missions to Mars. Program: NASA's Artemis Lunar Exploration Program. Mission type: crewed lunar flyby. Purpose: the mission was done to check and prove that all systems needed to carry humans, like the rocket, spacecraft, life support, navigation, and communication systems, work properly in deep space beyond Earth's orbit, to make sure that everything is safe before sending astronauts. Previous mission: Artemis I. This mission was a mission where no astronauts were on board, and the spacecraft flew around the moon to test everything before future crewed mission. Next mission: Artemis III. This mission aims to land astronauts on the moon. Around 4 astronauts will fly aboard the Orion spacecraft launched by NASA's Space Launch System. Reed Wiseman, the commander from NASA; Victor Glover, the pilot from NASA; Christina Koch, a mission specialist from NASA; and Jeremy Hansen, a mission specialist from the Canadian Space Agency. This mission is historic because it includes major firsts. Victor Glover will be the first person of color to travel near the moon, Christina Koch will be the first woman to fly around the moon, and Jeremy Hansen will be the first non-American astronaut to travel that far from Earth. Schedule and mission profile. The mission is planned to launch in early February 2026 from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, last about 10 days, travel from Earth around the moon and then return, and end with the spacecraft landing in the Pacific Ocean near the U.S. West Coast. During the flight, Artemis II will follow a figure-8 trajectory, looping around the far side of the moon before returning. The spacecraft will travel farther from Earth than any humans have gone since Apollo missions. What the mission will test. Artemis II will demonstrate that NASA's deep space human exploration systems work safely with astronauts aboard. A life support and environmental systems for long-duration spaceflight. Onboard navigation, communications, and power systems. A radiation monitoring and crew health measurements beyond Earth's protective magnetosphere. Deep space operations under real flight conditions. Crew members will also make scientific observations of the moon's geology from thousands of kilometers away, helping future landing missions know what to expect. Why it matters. Artemis II is essential for NASA's long-term exploration goals. It's the first time humans will travel beyond low Earth orbit in over 5 decades. It validates hardware and procedures needed for a future crewed lunar landing, Artemis III. It builds experience for future human missions to Mars and deeper space. The launch. Scheduled for early February 2026, the Space Launch System, SLS, the most powerful rocket ever built, will launch from Florida's Kennedy Space Center to carry 4 astronauts inside the Orion spacecraft beyond low Earth orbit and into deep space. Traveling away from the Earth. As the Orion spacecraft travels farther from Earth than any human has gone since 1972, the 4 astronauts will capture photos and videos of deep space while rigorously testing their life support, communication, navigation, and radiation shielding systems. They'll also take photos and videos of Earth and space. Flying around the moon. Executing a close flyby without landing, the spacecraft will loop around the far side of the moon, briefly losing communication with Earth, to test crucial gravity effects, navigation accuracy, and heat protection systems in a deep space environment. Returning to Earth. After a 10-day mission, the Orion capsule will complete its journey by re-entering the atmosphere at extreme speeds, testing its heat shield against temperatures hotter than lava, before splashing down in the Pacific Ocean for a safe recovery by waiting teams. Why this mission is historic. This historic mission marks the first crewed journey to the moon in over 50 years, notably carrying the first woman, the first person of color, and the first Canadian astronaut to ever travel to lunar distance. What comes after Artemis 2? The Artemis 2 mission will pave the way for Artemis 3, where astronauts will finally land on the lunar surface to build the experience necessary for establishing long-term moon bases and launching future human missions to Mars. Do you know, within just 66 years after humans first took flight, they were also able to set foot on the moon. If you want to see more contents like this, like and subscribe for more videos.